Welcome to San Diego Market Movers. I have Nicole here in the studio here with me today. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And we were just chatting. You were in the wine industry for 14 years.
Yeah.
Before you got into real estate.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to hear a little bit about, I am so intrigued right now.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that whole experience, and then how did you end up in real estate?
Yeah, the wine business was fantastic. It's, obviously a passion of mine. Like you said, I was in it for 14 years. Still obviously love wine and am very passionate, especially about traveling to wine country. But yeah, the reason why I actually got into real estate in the first place was because I was in the wine business. I was covering all of Southern California for a fine wine company. Mm-hmm. And I was traveling to Palm Springs quite often and absolutely fell in love with Palm Springs.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. And this was 2015. And so at that time, the barrier to entry was much lower, obviously, than it was in San Diego as far as home prices. Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of thinking, why don't we get a house? I'll stay there when I'm in town for work, and then we can also use it as a vacation rental company. So we did that. We actually found a turnkey property that was completely furnished. A lady had flipped it, and so I got to purchase the property fully equipped with all the furniture, everything.
Wow. And
we had that for 4 years. So it was a 3-2 in the front house, and then it had a detached studio, which was awesome because if we had guests and things, then we would
had a place for them to stay. That's awesome.
With a pool and a view of the mountains. So it was like our little sanctuary. We loved it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then we sold that in 2019, and we ended up buying a multi-unit in North Park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was 2019, and then I started studying for my real estate test. I don't know, I probably started for like a year casually because I didn't know if I was going to stay in the wine business or actually go through with real estate. 2020 hits, obviously some things were changing, and I ended up leaving the wine business and going full-time into real estate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how has that transition been for you? Because I'm sure it's pretty different. I mean, I'm sure some of the aspects might be the same, but to go from that career to this career, how has it been for you?
It's great. I mean, obviously in the wine business, you're, talking to people and you're educating, and that's the same thing with real estate. Like I'm constantly educating, and I also have an immense amount of passion for helping people build wealth because I was able to see what I could do with just, one little property, and now we have, 4 doors. So I love having that conversation about what you can do and the potential of real estate. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite things to talk to people about, especially first-time home buyers and, military using that VA loan and just getting in and then watching it grow is why I really, truly got into it.
That's so cool. I mean, I love that you just said it because it's almost like you fell into it. Like you buy this home, you're like, this will be a great vacation property, but you actually got to experience what that did for you and your life, your family, I'm sure, and then buying that next multi-door property. And that is so cool to really be able to bring that to your community and your clients. Like, hey, I actually lived and saw what was possible, and now I know what's possible for you. And I can just feel that from you, that excitement, that energy. Yeah. Especially in a place like California where a lot of people feel, I think, defeated about whether or not they can own a home. And I think that the core thing here is like, how can you get creative to build wealth? Because you kind of have to in California.
You have to. Yeah, and there's a lot of creative ways to do it. When we bought it was originally a duplex in North Park. And when I was in the wine business, I traveled all over for work. So I listened to a lot of podcasts, and Bigger Pockets was one of the podcasts I listened to all the time. So what we did was the full BRRRR method from Bigger Pockets on the duplex. So we completely renovated it, did the whole, we actually added another unit. So we have a studio in there now. We refinanced it, got money out of it, and we used that money to then,
get the next one.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
So cool. Well, if you are looking to get creative with your home and you want somebody who's really passionate, that's not just doing it for the paycheck, but is super passionate about helping people build wealth, Nicole is a person to reach out to. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course.